my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, folks, let's talk about some NFL. Let's talk NFL. And we all know that the playoffs are approaching. It's going to be pretty good. A lot of people don't realize what's about to happen in these playoffs. We're going to have a lot of storylines in these playoffs. And it's time to pay the piper for some of these quarterbacks, some of these teams, some of these head coaches. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. Because although the NFL ratings have taken a slight decline, the playoffs are going to be great. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And we're going to call out some quarterbacks, some teams, some coaches, and things of that nature. But, you know, I put up that video yesterday about LeBron James' career being fraudulent and them having to do all this stuff the last, I don't know, since about 2015 to rewrite his career and rewrite history after people like Stephen A. Smith clearly told us over and over again that this guy wasn't a winner, wasn't clutch, wasn't a Batman, wasn't a leader, and needed to be led by the likes of Kobe Bryant. Yeah, what did he say out of his mouth? He wanted him to be traded to the Lakers so Kobe Bryant could show him how to be a winner, how to be clutch, how to be a leader. He also expressed that's why he came over to Dwayne Wade. So Dwayne Wade could teach him how to be clutch, how to be a winner, how to be a leader. In that, the part that I left out because I had to edit the video because the first one, they hit me with a copyright strike. But we cleaned that up. But I cut out the second half of the video, and I didn't even realize where he talks about Michael Jordan and Pippen and how Pippen was nothing until Jordan groomed him, taught him the way. And he felt like, Stephen A. felt like if he could get Kobe, or he was trying to get Kobe in a trade because he didn't think in 2012 that that the Heat was actually going to be able to beat the Big Three Heat in the 2012 playoffs. So he jumped off the bandwagon early because the Heat was down in those playoffs to the old Boston Celtics, the old decaying Boston Celtics, right? That the Magic beat in 2009 to go to the finals. That's after the Magic beat LeBron James. And Stephen A. Smith on First Take was jumping ship. He was like, LeBron stays in Miami, but we got to get rid of some of these guys. It's not going to work out. You know, he was predicting. He said he ain't had no faith in that they would win that series. Now, so he goes on to say, if they lose that series to the Big Three in 2012, you got to get rid of Wade and Bosh. Send them to Miami or LA, and in return, the Miami Heat will get Kobe Bryant. And now Kobe Bryant and LeBron James will play together, and that Kobe Bryant could be like a Michael Jordan to LeBron James, and LeBron James be the Pippen, and Kobe Bryant show LeBron James how to be a killer, how to be clutch, how to be, you know, a winner, all this stuff. So we'll put that video up later on. It is hilarious, guys. This guy, LeBron James, is fraudulent. And also, let's understand that it's really sad. It's sad that the media would stoop this low to tell all these lies for all these years in the footage, in a videotape of them pretty much saying LeBron James is a Robin. So we'll put that up later on. Look for that. So yeah, let's get into the NFL, guys. This is going to be very interesting because it's time to pay the piper for some of these quarterbacks, man. And at the top of the heap, you got a lot of good quarterbacks that have never gotten over the hump to do a damn thing, making all this money, getting all this praise, and choking. Oh wow, I didn't know Pittsburgh. That's just I think Pittsburgh just clinched the playoff spot. Well, they won that division. I didn't know they beat Baltimore. Wow, they must have beat Baltimore twice. What is it? 2 games remain? I don't know. I think they clinched a playoff spot. I think that's what that is. Nevertheless, when you look at teams like, see, Baltimore isn't a shoo-in. They're not exactly in the playoffs yet. They could miss the playoffs when we look at this. So let's go down to some of these storylines that I'm talking about. First of all, let's talk about Lamar Jackson. It's time for this guy to pay the piper, guys. It's time for him to pay the damn piper. If he loses this season and doesn't even go to the Super Bowl, he getting all the smoke. This dude is getting all the smoke. Sorry, guys. He getting all the smoke. Especially if he don't put up a lot of yards, gets intercepted. No, hold on. I don't care how it happens. No. I ain't putting no asterisk next to it about how it can win. I mean, how it can lose. And no, I don't care. Because even if you don't put up a lot of yards or whatever like that, a lot of touchdowns, you need to find some way to will that team to that win, to that Super Bowl appearance. That team needs to do it for you because you're Lamar Jackson. Whether it's your defense, your running backs, whatever it is. You got Derrick Henry over there. And look, he's a good running back, man. But let's admit it, Derrick Henry done choked in big moments too. Big games. Come up short. Didn't even get 100 yards in some of these playoff games. Let's admit it, guys. But Lamar Jackson, if he don't make that Super Bowl, we'll talk about it when it comes. Who else? Josh Allen. Wow. Been seeing a lot of Buffalo Bill fans and flags and things like this in my town, in my city. Let me tell you, I jumped off the Bills bandwagon a long time ago, you guys. You guys don't know about no real Bills fan that was back in the 90s, went to 4 straight Super Bowls and we lost. I was even an Atlanta Braves fan. I was a Cubs fan. And I was a Bulls fan, and I was a Duke fan. And I was with, Duke when they had to overcome all odds and win those back-to-back championships. And they would later on, win other championships in the 2000s, the 2010s. Was a Bulls fan when they wasn't winning, and they had to overcome all odds. Well, folks, it never happened like that with the Braves. I think the Braves also went to 4 straight. I think they went to the 4 straight World Series, and it was crazy, man. I couldn't believe it. To see Kirby Puckett win, and who was that? Was it Dave? Was it Toronto? Dave Winfield? Did they beat the Atlanta Braves? I forget, man. So it seemed like everybody beat the damn Braves in the World Series. I was gone, man. But they did win one year, and that's the year I didn't even freaking win it. I mean, watch it. But yeah, I was a Bills fan, and I was done with them, man. When they lost to the Cowboys, I think they lost to the Redskins, lost to the Giants. It was bad, folks. But let's not talk about my shattered dreams. Let's talk about the recent shattered dreams of these Bills fans. If Josh Allen doesn't make the damn Super Bowl, I don't know what to say, guys. This guy puts on all-time performances all the time in the regular season and chokes it up in the playoffs. Pittsburgh really has nothing to prove. Yes, it would be nice, folks. We don't know if Cincinnati is going to make it with Macaulay Culkin, but he really has nothing to prove. He's been to the Super Bowl one time and barely lost. Um, who else do we have here? Jalen Hurts, although young, and he really has nothing to prove. For him to get back to the Super Bowl will be big. Even if he doesn't win it, it will still be something big with the season he had, with the season the Eagles had last year. That would be great for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Even though you wouldn't want to go 0-2 in the Super Bowl, that would kind of suck. So if they win, you would hope that they could, pull that out and win. So the Eagles are looking great this year. Dallas, I don't know how. We'll talk about the guys that's barely, that can make the playoffs. Look at this the NFC West. You got the Rams, Seahawks, Arizona, and San Francisco. You got the whole damn division still in the playoff picture. That's how good or bad that division is. So we really can't really talk about what's going on there. I don't really see any of these teams or quarterbacks having anything to prove. San Francisco probably ain't gonna make it back to the Super Bowl, folks. Their running back, as good as he is, he's always hurt. That's the problem with this guy. He's always hurt. He's always hurt. So let's look at some teams right here who could make some noise if they get in. Miami, Houston, right? Who already won that division, I think. Let's see. Maybe the Chargers and Denver could make some noise. Washington could make some noise. Maybe Dallas. Oh, I forgot about my fault, guys. Yeah, so Detroit, we already know they have something to prove, right? Not so much Goff, because he's not held to a high standard, but I'm talking about the team in general. They've been, Super Bowl picks or Super Bowl contenders, however you want to cut it, since last year when they were in the playoffs and they lost. Everybody was saying around the NFL that next year was going to be their year. Next year they would contend, and you better watch out for them. And that's basically what happened. That's basically what happened this year. So, it won't be the worst thing if they lose, but the kind of season that they had this year would be devastating to Detroit fans if they can't at least make it to the Super Bowl, right? It would be devastating to the Detroit fans if they don't make it. So that's a storyline right there. We kind of know the biggest storyline right here, and we'll talk about it in a second. You got Dallas. We just said something about that, but this Minnesota team is cooking. And then we ain't gonna have high expectations for that team. We'll see what happens. Green Bay, that's a hell of a division right there. Detroit 12-2, Minnesota 12-2, Green Bay 10-4. That's crazy. And you have Tampa Bay. Everybody's still alive in this division. Tampa Bay, who's number 1, Atlanta number 2, and New Orleans number 3. All these guys are still alive to either win a division. I don't think win the division. I don't think New Orleans is, or I might be wrong. But they're alive one way or another to win the division or get the wild card. And the storyline there is Baker Mayfield. How far can he take that team? And it depends on him throwing damn interceptions. So the elephant in the room and the big storyline is all these guys in the AFC, Cincinnati, Macaulay Culkin, he's going to have to go through, maybe. I'm not trying to say all of them are going to have to play this guy, but it might be, down the road. Somebody might have to play these guys, whether it's Josh Allen, Macaulay Culkin, Lamar Jackson. Somebody's gonna have to play. Somebody's gonna have to play this guy. And don't forget about Houston. They could bring some noise. But who's going to defeat Mahomes? This is going to be very interesting. Can Mahomes three-peat? And I'll tell you guys, all these names that I just mentioned, and if Mahomes wins the championship again in a three-peat, I don't know if this looks good for the NFL, folks. It just doesn't. I know he's a great quarterback. They done had a lot of wins that they weren't supposed to win this year. It's not looking, to me, it won't be a good look. You just have too many great quarterbacks. Brady had a chance to do a three-peat. Was it? I know one time. I thought it was another time too, but he didn't get the three-peat because the quarterback competition was so great back then. The defenses were too great back then. So you guys tell me what you think. It's some guys, man. It's time for them to pay the piper, man. If they don't win, some of these quarterbacks has already been there, and Mahomes hits the three-peat button. I don't know what to say. I don't think it's good for the league. It just ain't, guys. You can cut it how you want, how great Mahomes is, and he's walking around with no competition, folks. That's not good. Brady always had competition to play against. I don't care about what's going on in the regular season, bro. Competition is in the playoffs too. So, tell me what you think.